Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It is so great to have you here as we kick off the 23rd Annual Garden State Film Festival from March 27th through March 30th. You can enjoy over 200 incredible films and film-centered events. These films are shown from 14 different countries across 9 different venues all throughout Asbury Park and Cranford, New Jersey. There's truly something in it for everyone. I am your host, Paige Ryans, and today I am joined with the people behind the making of Puppy Love. Welcome.
Hey,
So great to have you here. So great to have you
having
here.
us.
How's it going?
Good. On theme. My dog is eating a Kong. Right next to me. And I'm just praying that this Kong lasts 10 to 15 minutes because if it doesn't, we're gonna have a whole other interview on our hands.
Yep.
we can bring Josie into the interview.
Yeah, that's what.
So.
Yeah, you can answer some questions. She wasn't in the.
We're
movie,
never
but
opposed to having dogs join in the interview.
Yeah.
We can have a few extra questions for the dog too. So great to have you both here. We'll start, I guess, by just introducing yourself and your title or your role in the film.
For sure. I'm Daniel Rashid. I directed the film. I co-wrote it with Elizabeth, and edited the film and produced it. We made this together. We made the whole thing together. Go ahead,
It was a joint effort.
Yeah. And I'm Elizabeth Blenty. I co-wrote the film with Daniel and produced it, and I'm one of the stars in it.
She's the star.
No, I can't be the star because the dog's the star.
And the dog, it's a three-hander. The dog.
There can be two stars at once, though.
Yeah.
There can be. Awesome. Well, thank you. So tell us a little bit about Puppy Love.
Yeah. So Puppy Love is a kind of an absurd comedy about a girl who dates a guy for his dog. And the dog is incredible, is a perfect dog, and the guy is very off-putting and strange. And the original idea for it came from the experience that Elizabeth had that she told me about. And I was like, I think you got to make a film about that. But she was at a friend's house and she was meeting this amazing dog, and her friend was like, yeah, I'm just like dog sitting this dog. And she's like, who's the guy? And is he single? And I was like, Elizabeth, I think we just need to write a film about that exact thing, but make the guy strange as hell. And so that's what we did. And we cast our good friend Alfred Bardwell Evans, who is one of the funniest people that I know, to play the guy named Austin in the film. And he's so funny, and the dog is so cute, and Elizabeth is so good, and I'm very proud of the film, and you should go see it at Garden State.
That's awesome. So tell us, Elizabeth, about the process of filming, and kind of your thought process behind the inspiration of it. I know Daniel mentioned that it kind of that's where the idea blossomed. So kind of talk about it from your perspective.
Well, luckily, I am in a loving relationship now, not with the dog's owner, but it was a really fun thing to come home to and tell Daniel, and we were living together at the time, and he was just like, yeah, we got to write this. And so, we both were working on it together, but I've never written something that I was also in. And so this was like the first time I had ever experienced that part of the process, and having to think about, what we had created together, and, also producing part of it and making sure everyone's feeling comfortable on set, everyone's feeling good, and also acting in it, kind of turning off my writer side of my brain or producer side of my brain for a second when we're in the scene. And then it's like, all right, yeah, now let's think about that. But I think they all sort of, they all come together in a way when you're making indie film and, working with close friends. It's just, you'll be out of a scene, and Daniel, being an amazing director, would be like, yeah, now you can feel free to improvise a little bit there with that line or whatever it is. And so that was really that helped me be a little bit more free in the acting side of things after writing it with him. So that was really great. And that was the first time I ever acted with a dog as a scene partner. And let me tell you, he is the best scene partner. Sorry, Alfred. But yeah.
So we'll be seeing you both, you of course, and the dog in another film in the future, maybe.
I would hope so. This dog, I mean, Hollywood, watch out. This dog is a star, and it was not a movie dog. The dog's real name is Shabu. The movie in our movie we call the dog Lucky, but the Shabu is just a perfect dog that we Elizabeth, me, and my partner Riley, who was also a producer on it, the three of us initially rescued this dog and was fostering this dog, and then we realized this dog is too much of a too much.
Look at their face.
Yeah. And then our friend, hold it up. Our friend Jeff fully adopted Shabu and trained Shabu to a T, and we were like, Shabu required Elizabeth, the least amount of direction on set.
Yeah.
Shabu killed it. Shabu came ready to play.
Yeah. To the point where there's a moment, it doesn't give anything away, but there's a moment in the film where he literally winks. Like, how do you get it? Like, got a dog to wink.
I remember being behind the camera and seeing him wink and being like, we got it. Sorry, we got it.
And he's a natural, just a natural. He's a natural born actor. So
he really is. And it is impressive. Like, even though dogs are really well trained, it might not relate to or translate on screen. And somehow he really does. And he's, like Daniel said, so well trained, and what was really incredible to have on set. And I felt bad for the crew because really the only people that got to interact with him were me and Alfred.
That was the thing I read about, because it was my first time directing a dog as well. And I did a bunch of research ahead of time to feel like, how can we set ourselves up for success? And the number one thing was like, this was the hardest thing, was nobody was allowed to interact with the dog except for the dog's owner, Elizabeth, and Alfred. Because if everyone's saying hi to the dog, the dog is just going to be all over the place. The dog is like, and so Shabu would come in to our location and like want to go up and greet people, and everybody's had to like, which is the hardest thing to do when a cute dog is coming up to say hi. So yeah, that took a lot of discipline on everybody, our entire crew's part.
Yeah.
And what would you say is for both, like, your favorite part of the filmmaking process?
Ooh, favorite part of
That's a great question. I think for me, for Puppy Love specifically, it might not be the case. I mean, it's different with every project, but with Puppy Love, it was my first time writing something with anyone. And it was a really fun time to, we have a draft, and then we were thinking, how much farther can we take it? And just trying out everything that came into our brains. It might not be the thing that worked or the final product of the film, but it was just a really great time collaborating with Daniel in this new way. And so that was my favorite part of this experience, because it was a new tool for me, and with someone who was able to like say F it and just try different things and explore. And we had a lot of fun writing it. There's a lot of things that did not make
part of the process. Yeah, I like that was just to get a little peek behind the curtain. We did a couple of drafts that felt like it was funny, but not quite. It just didn't quite have the juice. And then I was like, okay, crazy off the wall pitch. And then I pitched something that I'm not going to reveal. And we were both like, I think that is fucking I'm the worst. I think that's crazy, but I think that's the film. And
Yeah.
that's always a fun part of the process is like the discovery of that. And then like, you're like, there's that moment where you're like, are we going to do that? And we're like, yeah, I think we're going to do that. All right, let's do it. And then we're
Yeah.
that's really fun. And then I think for me, like what comes to mind in terms of favorite part of the process, I mean, I love tinkering in post, but there is such a joy to being on set and hiring great actors and having a solid crew. Because as a director, you're basically, the analogy I like is like you're throwing a party, and you can't be in every conversation of the party. You can't, like, all you can do is invite the right people to the party, set the mood, and then set the intention and go. And so it just feels so good to be at the right party and to have set up the right party and then be behind monitor and have your actors knocking out of the park and be like stifling laughter behind the camera. It's just such a joy of mine, and to do that with our community of artists. We have a really tight knit community of artists out here, and it's just a big old family. And so that's really special.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think it's nice to have a strong like cast and crew that really just like brings that family, feel to the set. Cause it really just makes the process so much even more enjoyable and even more, funny and comedic because, we see a lot of comedy in the film too. So it's just like, I think the comedic relief of it is just, it's very well done. And what would you say were there any challenges or any challenges that came up throughout the film, or was it pretty,
The one that comes to mind is like it's an interesting one. So we finished day one of filming, and I think you know the story I'm going to tell, Elizabeth. Our lead actor Alfred Barbell Evans is so good and so funny, and he's so weird in this film. But at day one we were like, is he too charming? Because there's like, he's so confident in his weirdness in the film, and we were like, do we want him to be like, do we need him to be more off-putting? We need to feel like we don't want these two people to be together without giving anything away. And so we kind of panic wrote a new scene in between like day 1 and 2 or 2 and 3. I can't remember. And we fit it in. It was the last thing we shot on day 3, and we shot it. And it's honestly a great scene. And the performances are fantastic. And we got in the editing room and we realized we don't need it. We panicked and we wrote it, but we didn't actually end up needing it. And Elizabeth knew on set. She was like, I don't think we need it. And I was like, I think we need it. And then she was right. We didn't need it. But it was, I could release that as a standalone scene. It could be interesting.
It was a great scene. Yeah.
Weird scene. Because I do love both your performances in it. But that's just one example of like, sometimes on a film set, you second guess yourself, do something, and then you have clarity. Because it's possible in the editing room, we could have been like, thank God we wrote that extra scene. But there's no way to know with certainty on set. I think that's one of the hardest parts about the process is like, you only have 3 days of filming for this. And we get everything we can get in 3 days. And we can do pickups, but it's costly. And hopefully we just get it all in these 3 days. So that's tricky.
That was something that jumped to my mind as well. But also, this is another kind of deleted scene that it's more like physically upsetting to me because we have a bit of a montage to kind of show how weird Alfred's character is. And I mean, I feel so bad that we did this to Alfred, and it's not in the film at all. But we had him dunk hot dogs like what is the contest?
Like Kobayashi style, Joey Chestnut
just
style.
full on dunking into cranberry juice as if it were wine and just wolfing them. And
hot dog and the buns.
And being in the editing room with Daniel watching it, I was just like, Daniel, I was not on set. I was like, I can't watch this. It is physically upsetting me and my stomach. Please, we can't include this. And we felt so bad to finally have Alfred see the film and be like, so that didn't make it, or
I just had to eat 3 hot dogs. I had to slam 3 hot dogs and buns for nothing. For nothing is what you're telling me.
Did it at least make it in the bloopers or something?
You know what? Maybe because of this interview, we'll cut a blooper reel.
Okay. I think that's something that we'll be looking forward to after
we'll
this.
put a disclaimer at a time, like,
Yeah.
crazy people do not watch.
Yeah.
Do not watch that. Oh,
That's
gosh.
great. That's great. Is there anything that you would say you learned about for both of you, just kind of like Elizabeth, as an actress in the film, and then Daniel kind of like on the behind the scenes of the film, was there anything that you learned about yourself or your filmmaking process, or just kind of like something that you wanted, like even like an inspiration for your next project?
Yeah, I mean, this is more of a technical note, but I'm never really in the editor's room all the time. Oh, perfect. Yes. So this is like a mini shabu.
It's really on theme. It's really on
Yeah.
theme. If you lose me, it's because she logged me out.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like more of a technical thing, but I hadn't been in an editor's room as an actor co-writer before. It's sometimes as just a producer, and it's odd watching yourself in the edit and not being judgmental of your work or your acting. And so that was just something that I had to learn as we were going, as like, I'm going to be staring at my face for a while, and that's just how it's going to be. And there would be times where I'd ask Daniel for, the coverage we got, if there's an alt take of something, but it humbled me quite a bit to just be like, I have to think that that's not me, and just like, let's see what is going on in this scene and tell the best story.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a really big thing that I'll take forward with me with all the next projects I work on that I end up producing or writing and also being in. So that was a big takeaway for this one.
Yeah, that really is a thing you have to learn how to do. And it's hard for everybody, because I also act in some of my own stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just making sure the dog's okay behind me. And it is like a learned skill of like being able to watch yourself and be like, okay, I can separate myself from myself enough to watch this.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Elizabeth, you are so good at this film, and so just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
For me, I know I talked about it earlier, but I think it's like it's working with dogs. I would be less afraid now working with animals in my next, even though they say like don't do it, don't work with animals, don't work with children. But I do feel like I learned how to set up, because like one specific little thing, just in case other filmmakers watching, is like I had all this complicated camera movement or coverage to get within the scenes with the animal, and then I read through online that it was like, just keep it real simple, because if your camera moves, the dog might be like, what's that? And so you want to keep it just super, super simple. And so I stripped everything down, and I was so impressed with the dog, and I was glad that I did that. So I think just it's learning how to work with animals would be the biggest takeaway for me.
Awesome.
Now I have one of my own.
No.
So she's just tearing that Kong apart.
Yep. And so like for the audiences that gets a chance to screen this film during the festival, what is something that after they watch the film, what's something that you hope they take away, or something that they walk away from this film with, or just kind of if for someone that's looking, they're like, I think I want to check out Puppy Love, like what would you say to them to get that push to buy that ticket? For sure. Well,
I would say go see it. It's but there it is. There it is. Block AL5, Saturday, March 29th, 2025, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. It's if you want to laugh, I would say go see the film. You're gonna laugh. Every screening we've been to, we've gotten so much. It's really just a joy to be in the audience, to have people laughing.
Yeah.
And I'll toot our own horn. We've won a couple of audience awards at other film festivals. I think it just speaks to like it's a joyful story, but also it takes some twists and turns you might not expect, and ultimately, I think the film, for me, the heart of the film is about weirdness and people's weirdness and being accepting of our own and other people's weirdness and not judging people for their oddities. That's what I would say the heart of it is for me. Aside from a fun romp, what do you say, Elizabeth?
No, I echo all of that. And also, if you want to support indie filmmaking and really support a really incredible festival, you should not just see our block, although I want you to see our block, but see everything that they have to offer. And also, if you want to support a New Jersey filmmaker, someone who is from Isla, New Jersey, and like goes down the shore and everything like that, then you should go and see Puppy Love. I feel really grateful that I can take, what I grew up with in New Jersey and bring it to the West Coast and get to bring that into everything I make. And it's who I am. And I'm really proud to be from Jersey and to be a part of a Jersey Film Festival. So yeah, go and see it.
Awesome. Well, listen, we're so great to have you both in this festival this year, and Puppy Love. It's really a great film. So I think audiences are going to be very excited to see it. Very excited. Yes, absolutely. So again, you could check out Puppy Love. It'll be screening on Saturday, March 29th, Block A, AL5, Asbury Lanes 5, from 3 to 5. There we go. One more final.
Here she is.
Puppy
She's like,
cameo.
take me outside. I need to go on a walk.
So yes. But thank you both so much. And Daniel, Elizabeth, we're so excited to have Puppy Love a part of the festival. And there we go.
We are excited and honored to be at Garden State. I had the joy of going to Garden State 2 or 3 years ago with a film of mine called Almost Winter, and I had just the best time at the festival. And so, y'all, you don't know what you got. Local New Jerseyans who are watching this, it's a really special festival. So go out and support it, see some indie film, have some fun.
Yes, and thank you, Paige. Thanks for all the questions.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I mean, this was a great time, and like I said, we're very happy to have the puppy cameo and everything like that. But thank you so much for just being here, and this was great. So.
Our pleasure.
We'll be seeing you at the festival this year, right?
We have work that's taking us out of town, so unfortunately we cannot come to the festival.
But the Valenti family will be there. So if you want to just go up,
will be there.
Go up to people, just ask if they're related to me. Then most likely they will be.
Yeah, you'll be here in spirit, so that's all that matters too.
That's right.
Good. Well, once again. You can be sure to grab your tickets at gsff.org/tickets. There we go. And for the 23rd annual Garden State Film Festival, 205 films, 9 awesome venues. Doesn't get any better than Jersey, if I do say so myself. But yes, thank you. Congrats again on such an awesome film. And even though you won't be here, we'll still be celebrating the film, so with the Valenti family and the family as well. So
thank you so much.
All righty, take care. Okay, have a good day.
Bye everyone.
Bye.